going to drive forward.
Sweet, thank you.
Yeah. It's up to you.
Feel normal.
What?
Feel normal. Oh. Gee, mate, you even got the DiDi sponsored coloured car.
Yeah, I know. That's the original colour, but yeah. Where was that flight from?
From Sydney.
Sydney, yep.
Yeah, was that Sydney? I was supposed to go to Melbourne.
Yeah.
And Jetstar overbooked a flight, 21 people. And they were like, oh, you got two options. You can either fly Qantas at 10.
Yeah.
Or, and it was a 6:30 flight. Like, yeah, fly Qantas at 10, or you can fly Jetstar to Avalon at 6:45. They were like, we'll give you a $100 voucher.
Oh, really?
And I was like, oh, fuck, man. I already booked Skybus tickets.
Oh, really?
In Melbourne.
Yeah.
And I was like, I said to the chick, I can't do it. I already booked Skybus, right?
Hmm.
She's like, oh, just change your Skybus tickets. I was like, fuck that. I'm not doing that. It's a pain in my ass. I said to her, if you cover the taxi as well from Avalon to Melbourne, then I'll do it. She was like, yeah, done.
Really?
Yeah. It's probably going to be a pain in the ass to get the money off them for it. I tried to get a name. I was like, can you tell me your name just so that like I can fucking cover it?
Yeah.
She's like, nah, don't worry about it. I just talked to head office. Shit. Yeah, it wasn't a bad gig. $100 was alright.
Yeah.
Is this thing fully electric?
Yep.
Damn.
So that so you travel a lot with planes, do you, or?
No, I travel a lot for work, but like today's not work.
No, okay, yep.
Normally I'll fly fucking Qantas or some shit for work because we've always got to carry heavy shit. So, but nah, I don't mind it at $300, and I get to ride in a fucking car compared to sitting on the bus.
Have you had those buses before?
Yeah, I used to. It's unusual. I used to live here through COVID. I was a nurse here, and then I moved back to Sydney because that's where my family was after COVID. It's like, fuck that, I'm never going to Melbourne again. And I got a job for a company, and they're based in Melbourne. And so I'm down here like 4 times a year. But the old Skybuses, like, just as COVID was finishing up, there was no one ever on the Skybus. Like, get on it, there was never anyone there.
Now it's packed, is it?
Oh, mate, all the time.
And where do they stop? Like, how do you know where to stop?
Oh, they only go express pretty much. So like you'll get one from here to the city and one from here to Geelong.
And they only stop the one spot.
Yeah.
Oh, really? So if you lived out of town, like you'd still have to catch Uber somewhere or get picked up.
I think so.
Really? Oh.
There's yeah, I think that's it. I think there's one from here to Geelong or one from here to the city, or there's one from Melbourne to Melbourne. It's a good fucking service though. Like, I mean, it's $20. $20 each way. So if you get a return ticket, it's only $40. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to knock back the taxi and the $100 voucher.
Yeah, just have to cough up the money though.
Yeah, well, that's going to be the fucking
If not, you got the voucher, even if they don't.
Oh, I'll just fucking get up them.
Yeah. She told me you overbooked.
Yeah,
and blah,
I got one of the chicks' names.
Yeah.
Her name's like fucking Joanna told me.
So you got her name?
Yeah, I didn't get the name because it was like the manager. They were fucking panicking, eh?
Yeah.
The chick's like, I've overbooked this flight by 21 people. They're like, we can get you on a Qantas flight. And I was like, fuck, that sounds alright.
Yeah.
So I stood up, went over. I'm like, oh, what Qantas flight are you putting me on? She's like, one at 10 o'clock.
Oh, shit.
No way. And you could see everyone walk up
and then
walk away. Yeah. And that's how you knew it was bad. But when I was there, they were like, oh, fucking yeah, we'll do this, we'll do that. And I was going to push them for more. I was just going to tell her, like, if you give me $200 voucher, then I'll think about it. But, yeah, they were full fretting. And when she was on the phone, she's like, we're still overbooked by like 19 people. She said, we're just going to have to stand everyone around and just say you, and you cancel.
Or you take the voucher.
Yeah, and there was a dude on that flight. He was on there at the end and he was like, oh fuck, I've never been to this airport before. They just cancelled my flight and I got pushed onto this flight. And I said to him, I'll beat from the same flight as me, eh? Like, yeah. I said, you get in the taxi with me if you want, like in the Uber with me. Come to the city, but he was a bit weird about it, so.
Oh, okay. That happened not that long ago, a couple of weeks ago. There's 2 girls that, they missed their flight and then they didn't have tickets for the Skybus or something, so they just shared an Uber just to a local like train station or something it was. So yeah, and they didn't even know it. At first I thought they might have been friends or something, and then somehow the conversation says, oh yeah, we only just met. And I said, what, you don't know each other? Go, no. I said, look, you only first time meeting now. She goes, yeah, just when we're coming out of the airport. Because one of them was so distressed, and like one of them had the ticket for the bus, but another one tried to get ticket, but it was all booked or something, so she was just stuck there. So the one who had a ticket didn't use it, and they were gonna.
No, she was like, don't worry about it. Right?
Yes, she says, we'll catch an Uber to the train station. We'll catch a train to Melbourne. She's like, okay. So
yeah, well, it's like those Skybus tickets. You just buy a ticket and they just zap it for 2 trips. So if you want to, like, you know, like I'll only use one to go back to Melbourne. I'm hoping they've overbooked that flight as well, because that'll make my day.
Yep. So then,
yeah, I'll just give away the extra one. Like, it's just a QR code for 2 scans.
Oh, okay.
I'll just give it to someone I know who lives here, and a friend of family who knows. Yeah, I should have got him for like a Qantas business lounge. I should have pushed him for business flight.
Well, they just were hoping that people weren't turning up, or how did they overbook?
I don't know. Apparently it happens all the time. I've never seen it before, right? But with work we always fly Qantas, so I mean, I'm not really used to it. But I got there and she like, it was funny because she got on the overhead and she's like, hi everyone, this flight's been downgraded. So I don't know if they had a different plane, like they had to change the plane, but it didn't seem like that, because the plane that flew in was the plane that was taken off. I think they just bullshitted it.
Yeah, using a couple other different words.
Yeah, I don't know why though. Like, I don't know why. I know that these Avalon flights were on like super duper special a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, but you had to book return, and the flight to get here was going to cost me like $40 or something. Yeah. But the flight back out was going to cost like $200.
Oh.
I was like, well, fuck that. It's going to cost me $240 to fly to Avalon when I can just fly to Melbourne for $2. What do you reckon of this car? They reckon they're a pretty good electric car these days.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Pretty quiet. You barely even notice that it's not like an internal. Everyone says, oh, you can't hear it fucking revving, so it's like...
There's no engine sound at all.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel that different. I mean, normally when you're on the motorway in any car, it sounds like this.
Yeah.
How far do you get on it?
This is the long-range version. It'll get, if you're doing city drive, at about 550.
Oh, it's not too bad, eh? Take ages to charge?
Depends where and how. If you go to there's charging stations, I can go from 20 to 80%, less than half an hour it'll take.
Yeah, okay.
And it'll cost about $15 or something. And then I can just finish the charge at home overnight.
Yeah. So what do you just drive this, like, drive it till it's empty, or just drive it, have a break and fill it up and then just keep driving?
That's what I used to do, and then I got used to the car, how I could drive it, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So I'll drive it until about, get down to about 30%, 20%, something like that, and then that's my sign to go home and charge up, because there's a charger station not far from my place, so I'll fill up there, and then finish the rest at home.
That is not bad at all, 550 Ks on it.
Yeah.
You buy it brand new?
Yeah.
How much you pay?
60.
So how much a car costs nowadays? And $17 to fill it up. It's not fucking bad.
Well, I did December's fuel in my other car, which I got an i30 N-Line.
Yeah, right.
That cost, I looked at it, and then I calculated what I paid in January for this car. Without the home calculations for the electricity, just for fuel and the charging stations, the petrol was just over $1,400 for the N-Line.
Yeah.
This one was just over $400 in charging stations. So I've saved $1,000 over the month, roughly, by not having fuel. So then that's my car payment done. So so the money I'm saving is on fuel is my car payment, and then after the car's paid off, then it's bonus.
Yeah, not half bad, eh? It just pays for itself.
Yeah.
You've got to ring someone, eh?
Yeah, go.
Sort out me dinner.
What do you want? What are you getting?
Oh, you know what? I'm not a big Indian man, but I'm fucking craving Indian. Alright, dead set.
I was talking to someone before. She was Indian, and she was asking about Indian food and that. I said, yeah, my go-to is butter chicken and that. And she goes, you should try biragari or beer is something. I said, oh, no, I don't know what it is. She goes, yeah, give it a go. It's on all menus. I said, I'll have to have a look at it next time I find it.
So hang on, let me go. I'm just on the motorway heading up. That Indian place, you know, the cheap Indian place, is that still open? It's called Delhi Rocks from memory. Yeah, I don't know. Midnight. Awesome. Alright, well then when I get there, do you want to come down and we can get food? Go there? I'm really itching for some Indian. I don't know why. Well, I mean, if you're offering. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. In that case, no. Alright, well, I'll see you when I get there. I don't even know how far away I am.
40 minutes?
Delhi Rocks. Yeah, I'll try something new. I don't really care either way. Alright, I'm going to be there at 9:15-ish. I'm gonna have to put my bag up, hey. Alright. Alright, see you soon, bye.
You should look up the meal I just said, the Indian meal, the biragari or...
There's a I think there's a rice dish that starts with B.
Yeah. She says it's got rice in it.
It's my mate's an Indian dude.
Oh, is he?
Biryani.
Biryani?
Yeah.
Have you had it?
Yeah.
What's it taste like?
It's like spicy rice. But depending on where you get it, it can be like real hot.
Yeah, she said to do the spice level, what you could take, but yeah.
Yeah, you never really know. Like, I remember I was I travel up to Lismore, like northern New South Wales for work. So Lismore, and I was like, oh, this Indian place pretty high rated, so it's biryani. Fuck, it was hot, eh? Like, it was fucking hot.
Be good to mix with the sauces, wouldn't it? Like,
sorry?
Like, get a butter chicken and then have that butter chicken on top of the rice, would you? Or
I don't know. It's sort of like super spicy rice. Is how I would describe it. Like it's very like it's not very dry, but it's dry.
Yep.
But it's like you would eat it on its own pretty much.
Yep.
It's like a lemony tinge to it.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, it's a good option. But you can't go past a bit of butter chicken and naan bread, eh? That's a deadly combo.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's what Aussies always have.
Yeah, I think it's like the fucking honey chicken of India.
The honey chicken's good.
Yeah, or in the Filipino food, you ever had like pork adobo?
No.
Oh man.
What's that like? What is it?
It's fucking super salty.
Yeah.
And it's like slow cooked pork. What they do is they cook it in the oven or like cook it in the pan, and then cook it in almost like boil it.
Yep.
And it comes out and it's fucking
gelatinous, is it?
Yeah,
real soft,
like the fat is super gelatinous.
Oh,
It's like really it's just fucking heaps salty. That you put like salt and vinegar and stuff in it, but it tastes. It's like the honey chicken of Filipino food, you know. It's like
and what do you have with the pork? Like
just some rice.
Just some rice, yeah.
Yeah, it's real good. I mean, if you ever find yourself around a Filipino restaurant, they'll know because like that's the fucking Filipino staple.
So what was it called again?
It's called adobo.
Adobo.
Yeah, so you get like pork or like chicken. Pork's the
okay, yeah.
Chicken.
My cousin's wife's Filipino. She'll go down to her and see if she can make it.
Oh man, she'll know how to make it. I'm telling you, like if she doesn't know how to make it, she's fake. I dated this Filipino chick for a while, and she could not cook for shit.
Oh,
She was
really?
the worst cook, but she could cook that.
Oh, really?
She's like, every Filipino knows how to cook this.
There's a guy who I chat to from usually see at the airport, and his wife's Filipino as well. And I know he says that she's a great cook, so she'd have to cook that stuff then.
Oh yeah, mate. I'm telling you, like, once you've had it, you'll just be fucking loving it. Like, you won't.
But when you first taste it, you feel, oh, like what's that?
Nah,
Like,
you'll like it, eh?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Because you said it's like salt and vinegar. Like, is it?
Nah, it's not. It's not like salt and vinegar. It's like It's very hard to describe. It's like a salty, like. It's got that It's got that like tanginess of it because it's got vinegar in it.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of like a weak gravy almost.
Oh, okay,
like,
yep.
It's hard to describe, but
Yeah, you
super
want some
salty.
of that too now.
Yeah, it's super salty with like a tangy bite.
Have you ever mixed them with that rice that you just
No fucking way. You'd send India and the Philippines to war if you did that. World War III would start.
Just make a TikTok with it. I've got such as this and I've got that.
Mate, that's an idea, I'm telling you. It's fucking cool. You like your Dragon Ball Z?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I've watched them all since, but I haven't watched the latest movie.
I used to watch it when I was a kid, and then through high school when everyone went through like that anime phase, I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm gonna fucking start watching Sailor Moon and fucking Dragon Ball Z again.
Yep.
And I downloaded, I think, the first 200 episodes, and I got like 50 episodes in.
Yep.
And I was like, fuck, I don't know how I watched this as a kid. There was so much filler. Like,
Yeah.
I did not realise just how much filler there is. Like, I remember as a kid being like pinned to every episode. Every single episode.
Yeah. Like, I say that now when something's boring on TV or something's not part of the main show. I go, oh, that's a filler episode.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is the boring bit. This is like,
And people are like, what do you mean?
Yeah, it's like the boring bit of Dragon Ball. Like,
it's like when you're watching like fucking Australia's Got Talent or Australian Idol or something, and they're like, oh, my dog died when I was 5.
oh, yeah, my mum's got cancer.
Yeah, and you're like, man.
I just fast forward. Filler episode.
You must be like, to go on that show, you must walk in, they must be like, what do you do? You like sing. They're like, all right, give us a note. They're like, it's really good. They're like, can you tell us about the worst thing that's ever happened in your life? If it's not bad enough, they just don't put you on TV.
Yeah. That could be the best thing in the world, but no, you need a story.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, your grandpa died. Like...
just relive it for us on screen.
I think that's how they do that. Everything's got a bloody sob story.
Sob story, yeah, it does.
Pisses me off. I just fast forward. Like I record the Australian Idol and America's Got Talent or whatever, and then I just like to get to the fucking point. You know how many more people they could show on TV if they didn't do the sob stories? Like the sob story goes longer than bloody what the singing does or their act does.
Man, I went through a stage of like, I don't know how I did it. I used to just watch movies just non-stop. Like, I mean, I would sit at home and like if I got home, you know, 5 or 6 o'clock, whatever, I would just watch like 3 movies before bed.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was an animal at one stage, but it got to the stage now where I can't watch any movie. It's like if I go with a chick, she's like, oh, do you want to come back to my house and watch a movie? Like, it has to be above 7 on IMDb and above 70% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I was like, if I've already seen it, I'll watch it again. But then they're like, I don't want to see it if you've already seen it. But I swear I've watched almost every movie that fits that category. Yeah, I was an addict.
I'm into either horror or like suspense or thrillers and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. What's your go-to? Like, what's your...
Oh, believe it or not, I haven't seen the last Halloween movie.
No, I've never watched Halloween movies.
I love it.
Yeah?
Love it.
I went Talk to Me was good recently. You watched Talk to Me? It's on Netflix. It's Australian, and I know what you're thinking, like Australian horror movie.
I've just recently got Netflix back because I was using someone else's account. Yeah. I've recently got it back, so yeah, what's it about? Go.
Talk to Me, it's called. It's like these people, it's like a typical horror movie, like horror story where like these people get this like dummy and they can talk to the dead, or like it possesses them for a short amount of time, but they've got to cut it off, and they don't cut it off, and then shit hits the fan.
Okay.
But I mean, in terms of horror movies I've watched recently, like that was probably one of the better ones. It was basic.
Is it a horror or is it like suspense or
it's
kind of horror?
It's like thriller. Yeah, it's
okay, yeah.
It's got a good bit of suspense to it too.
Yep.
But, I like 7 too.
Yep.
7. That's a banger movie, man. Probably like one of my favourite horrors, I reckon. rewatched it. I haven't rewatched 7, but I always say to people, like, if at the end of the movie you're feeling like super emotion filled, then it's a good movie, right? Because you're invested. Like, I remember at the end of 7, you've seen it, right?
Yeah, years ago when it first came out.
I remember at the end when young Brad Pitt's like gonna kill the dude, and I'm like, don't do it, and it does, and I'm like, fuck. Remember being like, this is a good movie. It's hard to find a good thriller movie now, though.
Yeah.
It just gets like super rinse repeat, watching the same shit over and over again. Are you from Melbourne, or are you from Geelong, or in between?
Well, technically now in between I'm in Werribee.
Okay.
So I literally am in between. But yeah, I grew up in Geelong. I moved to Werribee about 3 years ago.
Yeah, I've got a mate that lives somewhere around Geelong.
Whereabouts in Werribee?
Oh, sorry, not around Geelong, around Werribee. I can't remember.
Oh.
I'm not too good at Melbourne suburbs, but it's somewhere near Werribee. Apparently got like a fucking mansion.
Oh, okay.
It's my mate's cousin. I swear it was in Werribee, or it was around Werribee.
So the Wyndham Bar, Werribee, Hoppers Crossing, Truganina, Tarney, none of those ones?
No, it's 100% Werribee. Yeah.
It was Werribee, yeah.
Yeah, it would have been Werribee.
Sure, he's not just talking about the Werribee mansion.
Sorry?
Not talking about just the Werribee.
Is there a Werribee mansion?
There is a Werribee mansion
No,
that's got a great
not.
big giant, like it's got a equestrian field at the front.
You know what's funny about that though? They're super into horses.
Yeah,
they're super into horses.
They got that Werribee mansion would have passed it not that long ago.
Yeah.
That's like virtually in the same kind of lot as the Werribee Zoo. So they've got the Werribee Zoo, you got the equestrian, you got the Werribee mansion, and then they've got I think they've got a winery there as well.
Yeah.
And they've got a huge like garden, like it's massive. So
it's crazy, eh? Because people, you don't really see it that much online compared to Sydney, but like people sort of shit on like West Melbourne.
Yeah.
Well, Western Victoria, or however you want to call it. But like, it sounds like it's pretty fucking good. Like, you got a winery, you got an equestrian centre, like you're 30 minutes from the city.
Like I never saw myself would live in Werribee, but because I remember I used to drive past here all the time. You drive past Werribee, you could smell the sewage farm.
Okay,
it would just stink. And I gather they fixed it, because I'm thinking about it. I haven't smelt it probably over 10 years or something like that. But while I moved to Werribee, I was going to stay in Geelong, but my house, like, I sold the house, and the housing price in Geelong was so expensive. So for value for money, we looked at Werribee, and it was, for what we got, we would have saved about 50 grand.
It's probably exploded in price.
Yeah, it has now, because they're doing great big, like a lot estate that's going around it. Primary school's just been built. High school's just about ready to be finished. There's a shopping centre that's 2 minutes up the road from me, and and they're getting, by 2025 they're going to have a connection from the little bridge part to the highway, so it'll be easy access as well. So I bought in the right area at the right time.
But I worked, when I moved down here, I worked as a nurse at Austin for a while, and at Royal Melbourne for a bit. And when I was here, people were saying Heidelberg was like a bit of a shithole.
Oh, okay.
But then it seems like probably like within those 3 years, it seems like Heidelberg is not that much. I could be wrong here, I could be lying to you.
Oh yeah.
But like Preston and like Eltham, and there's another place around Heidelberg that's like a bit pish posh. Greensboro?
Yeah.
Greensboro? Like, it seems like that area, like, just fucking...
I reckon every suburb's got bloody a little shitty spot in it.
Yeah, same as Sydney. Yeah, like this suburb's got houses in a certain section, and the rest of it's pretty cool. It's all getting gentrified though. Is it the same down here?
Yeah, they're putting everyone with everyone as well, so...
Yeah, we had Kingswood in New South Wales, right?
Yeah.
And I live west, so I'm not in the nicest area either. But Kingswood used to be a fucking hole.
Oh,
right?
did it?
Like, I mean, you would not pay me to live there.
Yeah.
And now, like, a lot of migrants have moved there, and the infrastructure has prepped up a lot. And they're building townhouses there, and you're paying like $700K for a 3-bedroom townhouse there. And I'm telling you, like, you couldn't convince me to live there.
Yeah.
Even at $700K, like, The Queen could live there and I still wouldn't have.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's such a hole.
But they're trying to draw people in there that's got money, or?
Well, what happened is there was a lot of like, and it's happened everywhere in Sydney now, like real bad.
Yeah.
There was a lot of low density housing commission,
Yep.
like housing commission with blocks, and then you have like housing commission with apartments, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the housing commission, like low density with big blocks, every single suburb that has it now is fully gentrified.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's all, people take the old houses, dress them up, and then you get a big block and everyone wants to live there.
Mm-hmm.
And what they did at Kingswood and what is still happening there is there's a section that's high density housing commission that's just not cleaning up.
Yep.
And then there's the section that was low density housing commission. And the low density housing commission area now has just exploded in price.
Uh-huh.
And like they've knocked down a lot of them to build townhouses, or a lot of them are being cleaned up, or like they've knocked them down to build the hospital because there's a big hospital there now.
Yep.
And then around the hospital they're building like small doctors' surgeries, like all that sort of shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just prepped up heaps. But it's fucking bullshit for me because I'm trying to buy a house now. And I mean, like, where are you supposed to go? It's gonna be like blood from a stone getting this money from Jetstar, eh? I'm telling you, it's gonna be fucking horrible. My plan is just to send them an email tomorrow with like the receipt.
Yep.
And just be like, this is what happened. This is what they said would happen. Here's my bank account details. Please fix this.
So what was the time you were supposed to be in?
Oh, it was only 6:30 was the flight from Melbourne. It was 6:45 to here.
Yep, yep.
The Qantas one was alright, but it was 10 o'clock. Like, if it was 8 o'clock, I would have said to him, like, give me the $100 voucher, put me in the Qantas lounge. Or, like, give me, like, a Qantas membership for a year, which I think is, like, 250 or 300 bucks.
Really?
Just say to him, like, just give me a Qantas membership for a year, and I'm happy with that.
And what does that get you?
It just gets you to the lounge.
Okay, yeah.
I think you get, like, bonus points, and you get extra, all that sort of shit. I don't really care, but because I travel a bit for work, like, getting the Qantas lounge access will give me, like, 2 or 3 trips to the Qantas lounge. Like, you get free beer in there, you get free alcohol, there's food, there's drink. Like,
okay, yeah.
It's nothing spectacular, but, like, you get to sit on, like, a nice lounge and you get to
not
drink
those hard seats.
Yeah, and every state has it. So if I fly from here to Adelaide, then to Adelaide back, like, I'll sit at the Qantas lounge here before I go, and then I'll sit on the Qantas lounge there.
Yeah.
And it gets rid of that, like, you know how you're like, I don't want to fucking get to the airport too early because then I'm going to sit around and have to spend $50 on food. And I don't want to get there too late because then I'm going to sit around and, like, oh, I'm going to miss my flight and be anxious as fuck the whole time. Whereas if you got access to the lounge, like, oh, that car's on the inside, very tight.
The truck had to stop.
Yeah, like, if you get there 3 hours early, you just go into the lounge, open your laptop, you got free Wi-Fi, every drink you want, any food you want.
But, like, if you go into the Qantas lounge, it means you can't get on another flight, though? Like a different airline?
Oh, no, you can, yeah.
So you still fly with Jetstar, no, with the Qantas?
As long as you've got Qantas Club membership, you can get in. Or if you've got business membership. So now they have, like, a business lounge, which is fucking the same as the other one. And they've got a points club, which is just like a general lounge. They've got the same shit, but like, oh yeah, I'll pay for Qantas Club. You know, $200 a year to use the lounge 3 times. But to me, I'm like, it's $70, right? You can go to like a fucking steak place at the airport, get a steak dinner and a beer. It wouldn't even cost you $70.
She just likes to
she's
got it,
I think you can claim it on your tax too.
Oh, really?
Deductible,
It'd be alright if you did fly nearly like a few times a week or something like that.
Yeah, I think for me, because like I'm just a sales rep, right?
Yeah.
But I'll travel around to conferences every once in a while. Like I said, I'll probably travel like 4 or 5 times a year. But for the people like my manager or for the people above me, they will travel like once a month, twice a month. So I think if I ever got promoted to one of those positions, which I fucking better, if not I'm leaving, then you'd probably consider getting it.
Yeah.
But even then, like my company, if I go to the airport, my company pays my food at the airport, right?
Yeah.
So like as soon as I touch at the airport, like if I want to get fucking food or drink, it's paid for.
You're just not sitting on the good seats.
Yeah, it's the same shit to me. Like you know, I'm a bit of a bogan, so you just put me wherever and it doesn't matter. But I guess when you're at that stage where you're wanking around and you're wearing nice clothes and all that sort of shit, the last thing you want to do is sit on some stained ass seat or,
Yeah, stuck to Chewy or something like that.
Yeah, And it's a bit of a wank thing too, like you'll meet someone in the lounge or you both talk about business and you take your family because you get a ticket to take like a friend in.
Yeah.
So if you travel with a mate, that's why I want my fucking posh wanker friend to get it because every time I travel with her, she's in the lounge.
And you go, yeah, we can go in there. Well, I love this. Yeah.
Oh, she's got like Qantas point credit cards and all that sort of stuff. I just cycle through for gift cards, but she wants Qantas points.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, if I join the club, then I get, extra freaking status points and whatever. She loves it.
So what's the work you do?
Sell medical equipment.
Yep.
But it's very unique. Like we sell like medical simulation stuff. So like we sell anything from a basic life support mannequin through to like a $200,000 or $300,000 simulator.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's pretty interesting when I first started, and I don't mind it. But the trouble is, like with everything, man, companies now are just fucking everyone, and there's nothing I can do about it, right?
No.
Like we sell good products. We used to sell really, really good products. The quality I feel like has gone downhill. I feel like it's gotten super expensive now. And it's like a kick in the dick at the end of the year. You sit around and they're like, oh wow guys, like the company made an extra like 2% fucking net profit this year. We've made an extra 20% revenue. Our profit's up fucking 10% or whatever. Our profit margin's up 2%. And then they're talking like, oh yeah, we're just gonna give you a 2% pay raise. And I'm like, we just sat through a presentation about the company making an extra like 15% this year overall. And then you're telling me I'm getting fucking 2%.
So it's incentive, isn't it?
And that's what I mean. And it shits me off. Because last year inflation was out the arse, right? And I know no one got a good pay raise, so it is what it is. But like my manager was like, oh, you're getting fucking like 3.2%. And I was like, inflation is literally 7%. And he's like, yeah, but everyone else's raises, average raise was like 3% this year, so 3.2 is not too bad.
I bet you his wasn't 3.2.
Well, I felt like saying to him, like, if it doesn't match this year and it doesn't match next year, like I've lost fucking 8% doing this job, like 8% real wage.
Yeah.
And medical sales is super competitive for staff and salaries, right? So my company, it pays good. It doesn't pay bad.
Yeah.
But I could hop companies and make an extra 30% a year.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So at the end of the day, I think if they don't fucking promote me within the next year, or I don't get like a meaningful raise,
Bye-bye.
Yeah, what can you do? Like,
let's look after yourself first.
Well, that's it. And if you're not going forwards, you're going backwards. So
you're just stuck.
And it's a good job. Like, to be honest with you, this is the fucking least work I've ever done in my entire life in this job, right? You're just socialising. Like, that's all you're doing. You're going out drinking coffee and asking people about their life, and
then you just say, oh, do you want to buy this?
Yeah, I mean, like, I just hang out with people, and when they got money, they ring me, right?
Yeah.
So like, I'll see people from university, drink coffee with them, get a beer at the pub, whatever. And then they'll ring me and go, we've got 100 grand to spend, what can we spend it on? Or they'll ring me and go, the uni wants us to spend 200k, or like, we're going to renew the whole centre, so we're going to spend 500 grand, $1 million, whatever.
So all the coffee and beer drinking and stuff like that is just sucking up until when they want to spend the money, and then
that's how I do it, right? Like, some people are more hard. Some people go and be like, all right, you need money, let's spend money. Like, you got to spend money, whatever. It's just not fucking me. But like, the thing is, like, the tech that we're talking to, or like the educator we're talking to, most of the time they're pretty bottom of the line, right? But like, if you're buying them a beer, they're not going to be able to spend that $100,000 on something. So as long as you're giving them something, and they like you, they'll spend money with you. That's it. End of the day.
If you try and push them too much, and I'll just look for somewhere else.
Well, people just don't want to talk to you. Like, we got one person in our company, one of the sales reps, and she pushes, right? Like, she's pushy. Even when you're just talking to her, like, you hear her talking to the customers, you're like, she is really pushing her luck. But then her customers call other people.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like, we've got some customers in her territory in one of the states where, like, they won't deal with her. They want to talk to the other TM in the state, and they refuse to talk to her. Some people love her. Some people think she's great. But some people think she's a fucking pain.
But do you work on commission card as well? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So she's missing out.
Sorry?
So she's missing out by the sales as well.
It just depends. Like, her territory is actually, it's quite lucky, right? Because your target for the next year is always based off how you perform this year.
Yep.
But her territory is super up and super down. So if you check her sales history, like 1 year, I'm just giving rough numbers here, be like 5 million 1 year, then 3 million the next year, then 5 million the next year, then 3 million the next year. So it just goes up and down. So like she'll have a banger year, get paid heaps, then the next year she'll have a shit year. Then the year after that she'll have a banger year, pays heaps. So hers is like super up and down.
Yeah.
But like I said, most of the time, like honestly, people doing sales will tell you different shit. But in my opinion, and from what I've seen online, it's got fucking nothing to do with how good you are at the job. And it's got everything to do with how fucking much money the government's spending.
True.
Especially in healthcare.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're selling defibs and New South Wales Health goes, oh, we're going to renew our defib fleet this year, like you are absolutely in the money. Or like you're selling ventilators and they say we're going to renew our ventilators. Like you
you're out there, you're trying to sell.
Yeah, or like I was talking to one of the ventilator reps. She was like, our product's shit, there's another product that's better. I said, how's that going for you? And she's like, we fucking can't sell anything. And I was like, well, you can't argue with that, right? But yeah, I don't know. I fucking hate working in sales, eh? I hate annoying people. You know? It's very hard to be considerate. And at the same time, like, have to reach these fucking visits targets. You've got to visit 100 people this quarter or 120 people this quarter. So you're just like, just blasting people. So you just do this? Is this
just this and Uber,
Ah, okay.
Used to work at a BP servo in Geelong when I lived in there, but got over it. Was there for 22 years and
fuck,
got sick of the new manager, and when he would hire people, they were useless, and you say they're not doing their job properly, blah blah blah. I'll get onto them, never do. Plus I was missing out on all the fun things to do, like Christmas, New Year's, birthdays, weddings, all those kind of yeah, so I was like working Monday to Friday usually, and then and like your shift falls on say Christmas Day, you have to work it.
There's no fucking. Oh, when I used to work in nursing, the same thing, right?
But nah, just got over it, so left it. And after speaking to like Uber drivers and that through work, I thought I'll give that a go, and if I don't like it, I'll just go get another normal job. And
How often do you do this? How many hours a day you reckon?
I'll probably do this 8 to 10 maybe.
Yeah, okay, so full-time work.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. You always manage to get someone to pick up, or?
Yeah.
The electric car probably makes it pretty lucrative at the moment. Right?
Yeah, there's more option to get more rides too, because they, like in Uber, you can pick Uber Green as well.
Yeah. And does this classify as like a bigger car, like the bigger on the?
No, it's not the luxury. No.
Okay.
You need like the bigger Teslas or the like SUVs and stuff like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I think it comes under comfort as well.
Yeah, comfort sounds about right. I've not fucking seen this area before, eh?
No, I've gone this way because of bloody roadworks on the highway.
Oh, that's alright. I think always somewhere between Williamstown and the city. I think I drove to Williamstown and then I drove to
I think it's like Footscray or something.
Yeah,
I think we just passed like kind of Footscray.
Yeah, I reckon I came this way one day before. So that fucking
Footscray in North Melbourne or something, I'm not sure.
Crazy, yeah, Footscray used to be renowned for being crap. Now there's apparently like brand new apartments, everything's super flashy.
There's a new hospital as well.
Yeah?
Yeah, got a big giant hospital there. Still got the Western Health hospital, but the customer showed me, he goes, oh, there's a new hospital. I said, oh, okay, it's massive, it is.
Damn, another one on top of the Western, because where's Western at?
Western Health? That's off, like, near Gordon Street. You come off the highway, I'm not Princess Highway, and you get to Gordon Street.
Oh, yeah.
It's not this way, it's a different way. And, yeah.
It's funny, you know, when I lived here, no one in the hospital worked full time. Like, I worked full time, Like, I remember being at Austin and being like, "Oh, Billy, how often are you working here?" And I was like, "I'm here full time." They're like, "What?"
Why wouldn't they work full time?
I don't know, but everyone in the hospital, even when I worked at Royal Melbourne, like all the young people, they'd be like, "Oh," I'd be like, "How often do you work?" "Oh, yeah, I'm working 0.8, I'm working 0.6. Yeah. No one was working full time.
So what does 0.8, 0.6 mean?
Oh, like just 0.6, like 60%.
Oh, okay.
So rather than doing 5 shifts, you do 3 shifts, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so they like to party or have drinks or something, were they? Or
I don't know. It was during COVID. Like I said to everyone, if I'm not fucking working, I'm pretty bored, right? Like you run out of shit to do. And I'm like, oh no, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Or some of them would work their 0.6, like at Royal Melbourne 0.6, and then they'd be casual at the Western, casual at Alfred or whatever. Yeah, it was unreal. I don't know why they're all doing it.
They like their downtime, I guess. Although they're making that much money that they didn't need to? Or?
I don't know. I wasn't making a lot of money, I'll tell you that much. But you know what else pays really incredibly well down here? Agency, man. Agency nursing. Fuck me. In New South Wales, it's like capped, right? So an agency nurse will only get, like, I don't know, say 40 or 50 bucks an hour. Down here in COVID, agency nursing theatre where I was working was 120 an hour.
Jesus.
And now it's probably heaps more too. Because like, I remember one chick saying like, "Oh, I just work fucking 0.6 or whatever." I was like, "Man, how do you survive?" She's like, "I just do one agency shift a week." She's like, "I make more money in that one agency shift than I do." And the funny thing was, like, say you're an ICU nurse at the Austin. The agency would be like, "We need an ICU nurse, right?" And you'd be like, "Yeah, I'll do the shift," and they would send you to the Austin. So the Austin, rather than paying like someone full-time shift, I don't know, 30, 40 bucks an hour, would be paying you to come in and do your job, except because it was through agency, it'd be at like 140 an hour, 150 an hour.
But then how much? Bloody hell. Unbelievable.
It's such a waste. It's just like the biggest waste of money.
So they don't like to have people on full-time, but they'll pay the extra.
Well, no, like they so the way it works in the hospital is like a unit is allocated like a certain amount of hours, right? So you can have like 20 full-time hours worth of staff. But then if someone goes, like, calls in sick, someone goes on leave or whatever, because they can't employ more people on full-time, they just don't have access. You know, so like say the hospital surges and they need to run an extra bed. Because most hospitals got 40 beds funded for, let's say, 35. So they'll have enough staff to run 35 beds. But then if it surges and they need to run 40 beds, because they're not funded for those beds, they don't have the staff. And so they have to call casual staff from agency. And so what was happening in COVID is, like, say they were funded for 10 beds, then they needed to run 12 beds. They would just have to pull a staff member out of their ass. And so then they'd call agency. But a lot of the time it'd be like your day off, right? So then, you know, you'd work 0.6, someone would work 0.4, you would be off and the 0.4 person would be on, and then they go, "Oh fuck, we need another staff member." They ring you up, do it through agency. Because the dumb thing is, if you're working 0.6, right, because it's not full-time hours, if you work an extra shift, you don't get any penalty. Because you're not working above full-time hours. So if you're working 0.6 and your work goes, "Oh, can you come in and do an extra shift tomorrow?" You just go, "Well, fuck that, I'm not doing it. I'd rather just do agency." Because if you come in on your off day, you're only getting paid a regular shift allowance. Through agency, you're making 3 or 4 times your wage.
See the new thing now that the government put through today?
No, what was it?
Like, say if you're on your day off, or they needed you to come in at 2 hours early or something, they cannot call you, text you, email you while you're not rostered on. It's coming today, or I'm not sure.
Ring you to do overtime.
Like, so say if you're, so say if your boss says, say if you had Saturday, Sunday off, and they tried to call you or message you on the Saturday when you're not rostered on to say, "Oh, can you come in for start at 10 or something tonight?" They're not allowed to do that now. I think that it's going to be put through near Christmas time, but that's what they announced today.
It's pretty fucking ridiculous. Like, I don't know, man. It just seems like lately life's just getting fucking worse.
It's getting too...
like, it's getting worse, bro. Like, stuff's getting more expensive and you're not making more money. And it's like you go to the shops and the groceries have gone up by 10%, And you're like, well, fuck, what do you do, right? Like, you can't ring DiDi and be like, hey, I want 10% extra. I can't ring my boss and be like, I want 10% extra. It's fucking gouging, man. Like, every business just making more money. Like I said, our work is like, oh, we've had a record year. And I'm like, my job is advertised as like, you know, 50 to 60 grand a year. I started 50 grand a year. You're having a record year and I'm getting paid fucking 50 grand a year. Like, why am I not on 60 grand a year? If it's a record year, we should all be on record wages.
Yeah, that's it. Because it'll actually make you work more, because then you go, oh, if I got a bonus this time, I might be able to get a bonus next time.
Yeah, well, that's it. I don't know. It's just annoying, man. Like, lost my head in. I sit through these meetings. My other co-worker in New South Wales is the same. I said to her, like, I used to book like Povo hotels when I go travelling, right? Or like, I wouldn't eat anything expensive. I'd be fucking, you know, eating something decently cheap. She said to me one day, she's like, they don't fucking care. Like, they're out here making record numbers. Like, we should fuck the numbers.
That's the same as a chick I had last night in the car. She says that if she drives her car to the airport, they won't reimburse her for her fuel and whatever. Yeah. But if she takes a Uber, they'll pay for everything. And I said, well, why don't you just do Ubers all the time? And she says, no, I feel guilty and I don't like doing that. I said, well, it's free. Like, you're not paying for it. She says, I know, but but last night she had to do it because she didn't have a car at the airport. So.
Oh, bro, I got over that real fucking quick.
I bet you would have.
My co-worker, because in Sydney we've got Blue Emu Airport, right? Which means you got to park off site, and then you catch like a bus. They run regular buses. You catch a bus from the Blue Emu car park. Fuck this guy, get out of it.
He's going from this one to that.
Oh, what a fucking idiot.
I don't know how he did it, but he did it.
Just got into the fucking to get petrol. Must be cheap. And anyway, right, Blue Emu car park might be like $30 for 4 days. No. Whereas the fancy airport where you're right next door to the airport's like $100 for $120. I'm talking to one of the field service engineers. I'm like, dude, where do you park your car at the airport? He's like, oh, in the fucking Blue Emu. It cost me $30 every time. He's like, where do you park? I'm like, in the fucking fancy one, right? He's like, oh, I just picked the Blue Emu because like it's not too expensive. I'm like, dude.
Work pays for it.
Well, the problem is too, like, say you get home on a Saturday or a Friday, and then you've got to wait for this fucking bus. You got to sit on this bus for 30 minutes to get to the car park. You got to find your car in the gravel pit. Like, all I want to do is if I get home from the airport and it's a fucking Friday afternoon, I want to walk to the car. I want to sit in it and just fucking drive, eh?
But does work pay for your car?
Yeah, they don't give a shit.
So bloody go for the good one then.
My house is like, I literally live like 2 hours from the airport in Sydney.
Oh, really?
So if I got an Uber, it'd cost them like $1 billion.
Would they pay for it?
I reckon they would, eh? Like, I reckon they'd probably pull me up on it. They'd be like, Billy, like...
I'll just do it once and see how they go, and then if you do it a few more times, it's well...
They say it to me because they don't realise, like, everyone else lives pretty close to the airport. They don't realise Sydney, like, you can literally live in butt-fuck nowhere.
Yeah.
And they'll say to me, like, oh, just catch an Uber to the airport, and then I'll say it's $200, and they'll be like, oh...
But you just made record profits.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? I don't get it. But no, I don't push it too much now, but...
Yeah.
Like, if I'm going out on a trip, I'll sit down at the pub, I'll order a fucking $30 steak, $40 steak, and get a rum and coke or something.
Yep.
Because they ain't fucking looking out for me, though.
Sounds like a pretty easy job, really.
Oh, yeah, look, it's just headaches, man. Like, that's all it is. And the problem is, like, I fight the company, right? Like, the customer will be like, oh, this product's broken, I've got a problem with this product. Yep. I'll go to the company and be like, guys, we need to fucking replace it. And I'll be like, oh, nah, it's not covered under warranty, or we're not going to fix it, or, like, it's going to take us 6 months to repair. And I'm like, fuck me, like, you can't buy a new product, have something break, and then be like, yeah, 6 months to repair. Can't fucking have it.
You have to give them another one straight away, wouldn't you?
Well, that's what I mean, but that's the problem we have. Like, we have a $2,000 product, right? Yeah. It's broken. For us to order in the part was going to take 20 weeks. Yeah. And the customer's like, I got to do certification in the hospital. I need this in 6 weeks. Yeah. I say to my manager, like, just fucking send out a new one, right? Just take the old one
fix
back.
In the meantime.
And he's like, no, I'm not doing it. And I'm like, mate, you can't fucking, like...
because you piss them off, they go somewhere else.
Well, all the networks, all the hospitals connected, right?
Yeah.
And all it takes is for one person who's got a bit of pull to go like, fuck these people, they've fucked us around, we're going to start using a different company, and you're screwed.
Because I don't know, they could send out another one and get theirs fixed in the meantime, and then you could use it again.
And you know what? Like, our profit margin on the product is probably like 30 or 40%, right? So it's not like it's going to cost us money. Like, most of the time we just end up cost neutral.
Yeah.
And then you can sell the recode one, right? You sell it for $1,000 half price. People will snap it up.
Yeah.
But they just don't, like, they just can't fucking get it through their heads.
So where's that Indian place around here?
It's just over there, actually. It's near Nando's. Nando's does really good sweet potato wedges, or they used to. I don't know what they're like anymore.
I haven't had Nando's in probably 20 years, I don't think.
Yeah, the chicken's horseshit, eh? But dead set, like the
sweet potato
wedges or fries, whatever they're called.
I think they might be fries. But I do like sweet potato, they're pretty good.
But yeah, it's called Deli Rocks. It used to be just next to Nando's up there on the right-hand side.
Right.
It was real cheap. It used to get rated high because it was real cheap.
Yeah.
Like, through COVID, you'd come in here, get like a drink, like food and rice was like $9.50 or something at any time of the day, like until midnight.
Now they've become popular and
I don't know. Like I said, I lived here during lockdown, so it was fucking 3 years ago. I guess I'll find out tonight. Hopefully it's still cheap. It used to be banging, man. $30, get like 2 meals and a naan bread.
I found out today that the Indian lady who I was talking to, they don't, and they're not allowed to by their religion or whatever, not allowed to freeze their food or have it the next day. Damn. So they're only allowed to cook enough for that night. If not, it gets given to the animals and pets and that. The only thing they're kind of allowed to freeze is some kind of curd, I think she said.
Okay.
And those like bread things, those like naan breads or stuff like that.
Oh, like poppadoms.
Yeah. They're allowed to do that, but anything else, they're not allowed to. They actually, I throw it out.
It's moved there. See, Rocks. It used to be across the road.
Yeah, so they're not allowed to freeze any of their food.
Okay. At least everything will be fresh all the time.
Yeah.
Damn, I said, to there.
I said, you're missing out because takeaway food tastes great the next day.
Pizza, bro. When you get it, it's better the next day.
Kentucky. Put Kentucky in the fridge on a plate. Have it the next day. It is absolutely awesome.
It's good.
Where are we going?
Oh, just pull up anywhere down here.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Kentucky is the best in cold.
Just anywhere he is. Wherever you can get a spot where the dude behind just get the shoots.
No, he's gone.
Mad.
Alright, enjoy your Indian.
Yeah, I'm gonna need luck to fucking get him to pay this, I'll tell you that much. See how I go. Oh, I'll grab the bag out of the back.
Yeah, cool.
See you later.
Have a good one, see ya. See ya.